Welcome back to Revved Up with Ram Thorburn. While the Trump team thugs it out on the election results, we're going to take a break from covering the elections because, believe it or not, other shit is happening in this world. Kyle Rittenhouse, the Kenosha kid, finally goes free on bond. Some business owners actually stand up to the dystopian lockdown orders that are now being put back in place. And the left does what the left do. All this and more, but first.
Never tell them who I am. Well, how damn, I'm a man. 6 shooters in both my hands. I'm a cold-blooded brother, a real bad mother. Watch out, honey, here I am.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I am ready for this whole election fiasco to be over, so I do not have to keep going and talking about this many votes in this state, this many votes in that state, this company did this election official did that. It's just, it's tedious. It's tedious. I just want to get to the part where I'm covering Antifa riots because Trump was declared the victor. So, in our first story today, oh, look at that. I don't even have to wait for President Trump to be declared president again because Antifa is already rioting. Why? Because that's what they do. The left does what the left do. And in 2020, that means they break shit. They hit the streets, they terrorize people, they burn down businesses, all in the name of... Do we really know? Does anybody really know what they want? Other than to just see it all burn? I mean, are these just society's rejects that just have no hope in life? Nothing to live for, nothing to be happy about, nothing to actually want, and they just want to tear the rest of the world down to the nubs? Well, I think that, you know, they're only going to go so far before we come out and we tear them down to the nubs, and I think we're a lot better equipped to do that. We are a lot better equipped to do that. We've seen time and time again, the left, they come out with this violence, and they're just not that good at it. I remember seeing one video one time of, you know, these lefties that were rioting. There were 2 of them. They pick up bricks, and one of them goes to throw it, and right as he's going to, one of them throws one, and then he runs across in front of his friend, just as his friend is throwing the brick, and the friend hits him in the face with a brick. They're just not good at the violence, you know. And here's the difference between the right and the left. The left wants violence nonstop. They just fucking suck at it because they're a bunch of goddamn pussies. The right doesn't want violence. But if you draw it out of us, we're going to make sure we do it right. That's the difference. That's the difference. We don't want it, but we'll damn sure do it if you bring it to our doorstep. So, here we have from Breitbart. 100 plus Antifa rioters vandalized Portland buildings, and of course, no arrests. Because, you know, if you're a conservative, you can get arrested for breathing too much oxygen or for breathing oxygen without filtering it through a dusty, nasty mask. But if you're on the left, fair game. Do whatever the hell you want. We're never going to arrest you. Special privileges. It's you know, they like to talk about white privilege. Let's talk about left privilege. What about left privilege? The fact that these people have the ability to go out and do anything they want and get in no trouble whatsoever, but if you're the McCloskeys and you go ahead and defend your own home where you are protected by the strongest castle doctrine in the country in Missouri, you get charged with a goddamn felony. Why? Because you are not part of the ideological team. There is no such thing as white privilege, but left privilege is entirely real. So, reports from Portland, Oregon, indicate that police made no arrests of Antifa rioters who vandalized businesses on Friday night. This evening, a group gathered outside the Mexican consulate in downtown Portland to the Portland protein. Hold on, what are they doing outside? What are they doing outside the Mexican consulate? What are they railing against Mexico now? Yeah, I would love to see Antifa take their shit down to Mexico and then run into the cartels and see what happens. See what happens. We're going to have a whole stream of turtles crossing the border with severed Antifa heads strapped to the back, like in Machete. Was that Machete where they did that? Or no, that was Breaking Bad. That was Breaking Bad, but it was Danny Trejo. I think Danny Trejo was the character who had his head cut off. Yeah, that was Breaking Bad. A whole army of tortoises with Antifa, you know. They would not survive well taking their shit down to Mexico, where you actually do have people that are willing to thug it out, and they will get away with it. So, anyways, this evening, a group gathered outside the Mexican consulate in downtown Portland, the Portland Police Bureau tweeted. The group was described as dressed in all black and wearing helmets. Of course they were. The group engaged in criminal behavior, which included spray painting and vandalizing the property. I'm pretty sure Antifa, just by the nature of their existence, is a criminal behavior. Being in Antifa is a criminal behavior. So, you know, Andy No was covering it. We can see some of the pictures down here. Of course, they're spraying ACAB and fuck whatever it is. You know, that they love that word. They love to just throw the F-bomb around all willy-nilly because that's emotion. That's emotion. You say the F word and that's emotion. That means you mean it. You mean business. These guys are such doucheballs. All right. So Antifa organized in 2 separate mini riots tonight. One was publicly announced for downtown. It was meant as a decoy to fool police. Why do you need to fool police? They're not going to arrest you anyways. That's just being Antifa with extra steps. So there was another unadvertised one for vandalizing businesses along Northeast Sandy. I don't know the streets in Portland. But I want to get down to the part where, okay, so an official police statement reports no arrests were made. No reported that the group attacked the liberal icon Whole Foods in the city's northeast side during a day of rage to support trans people. I mean, the leftists, they know one emotion, and that's rage. They know one emotion. Now, look, I'm a person who can get fairly angry myself. I do tend to hide it well. I've gotten better about it as I get older. When I was younger, I got pissed at a dime. But now, I'm pretty chill at this point. But you gotta be able to know you gotta have some other, you gotta have more range than just anger and rage. It's and hatred. That's what they're fueled by. That's what they're fueled by. Why do they have nothing going in their lives? Why do they have nothing to occupy their time other than destroying shit? I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that they've all been indoctrinated in the colleges and institutions with postmodernist deconstructivism, deconstructive theory. And the term deconstruction is a con in and of itself. They throw the word con in there to con you so that you hear the word construct in there. But deconstruction and destruction are the same goddamn thing. Same damn thing. They're synonyms. But they like to put deconstruct because it makes it sound more orderly. It makes it sound more peaceful. Yeah, well, I don't think the people deconstructing Portland for the past 9 months are very orderly. No, they're out there burning everything down, beating people up, and probably smoking meth and diddling kids. Who knows? Who knows? I say that I said that tongue in cheek, but the fact of the matter is a lot of them actually do have. There is a sexual assault problem, a sex crimes, lot of sex offender registry members in Antifa. Let's just put it that way, including one of the people that. Hold on, I want to see why they were at the consulate before. Okay, here we go. All right, so as today is Transgender Day of Remembrance. They got a day for damn near everything these days, don't they? Protesters moved tonight from the South Blocks to the Consulate of Mexico in Portland before spray painting the building. This is after years of reports and data of discrimination towards women in the LGBTQ community in Mexico. Wait, aren't these all the same people that got pissed off because they say that Donald Trump called Mexicans rapists? Even though he didn't call Mexicans rapists, he was saying that some of them who come over are. And I actually have a female friend in Mexico who I talked to last year, and she said that, yeah, actually Mexico does have a pretty bad rape problem. That rape is far more prevalent in Mexico than it is anywhere else. So, but yeah, they're sitting here spray painting the Mexican consulate to accuse them of the same thing they got mad at Donald Trump for. Not even really accusing them of, but of course they twisted their words. It just makes no sense. There is no coherency in the left whatsoever. They have no position that actually adds up to rational, logical thought. It's because everything is knee-jerk reactionism to them. They have a thought that enters their head, and they just kick that way, or boom, punch that way. But they never actually think anything through. They never actually look for a consistency because they have no ideology except destruction. But, you know, I was saying how, you know, even Kyle, one of the people that Kyle Rittenhouse killed was a sex offender. Well, Kyle Rittenhouse is out of jail. And all thanks to the My Pillow guy. We gotta love the My Pillow guy. And a Hollywood actor of all people. A Hollywood actor helped get the Kenosha kid out of jail. And I guess there are still some good people in this town. I guess there are, because Kyle Rittenhouse, the Kenosha kid, is a goddamn American hero. He is an American hero. You know, Donald Trump loves his things made of gold. He has his gold toilet bowl. If somebody could make me a life-size, solid gold statue of Kyle Rittenhouse, I would put that motherfucker on display. He's a national icon now. He went out there and did the damn thing. And he did it all defending himself. He did it the right way. And he got backed into a corner. He had to shoot. Now it looks like he's taking it like a man, too. You know, as the system tries to fuck him over. Because, again, left privilege. The right gets oppressed. The left gets a free pass on goddamn everything. So, accused shooter Kyle Rittenhouse received help posting a $2 million bond from at least two famous faces. My Pillow guy, he's just known as the My Pillow guy. My Pillow CEO, Mike Lindell, and actor Ricky Schroeder donated tens of thousands of dollars to a fund totaling $2 million in order to secure the 17-year-old Rittenhouse's release from jail, according to the New York Post. Schroeder, a star of the hit police drama NYPD Blue, reportedly pitched in $150,000 to go with Lindell's $50,000. Rittenhouse, who has been charged with first-degree intentional homicide stemming from an altercation. We all know the story of the Kenosha kid. But, you know, Lin Wood is becoming a beast in his own right. He's starting to come up there with Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell as just champions of liberty on the law side. The lawyer side. So Lin Wood says, free at last. From left to right, attorney John Pierce, the Kyle Rittenhouse, yes, and actor Ricky Schroeder. Thank you all donors, thank you all patriots, thank God Almighty. And look at that, look at the Kenosha kid right there. He's smiling ear to ear, he's happy as can be. The dude has been in jail ever since that happened. What is that, 2-3 months now? I think it's been juvie lockup. I don't think it was jail. I think he's been in juvie. But either way, look at that smile on his face. That kid looks like he's healthy. He actually looks like he's lost some weight and gotten a little beefed up. I don't know. Maybe he's been working out in there. He's looking good though. It's good to see that he is out of jail. Now we need to get those goddamn charges dismissed, because anybody who looks at that footage, who looks at the video of what happened that night, can see without a shadow of a doubt, Kyle Rittenhouse is trying to run away from people that were attacking him. But let's be fair. For as good of a shot and as level-headed as he was, the dude is not a fast runner. the dude will not be earning high grades in Madden if he ever becomes a running back. He's pretty lead-footed. So they caught up with him, and they were going to kill him. And the first one that he killed, he was the one who was actually the child sex offender, and he was on video saying, shoot me, and then dropping N-bombs, comma that word, which, I got no problem saying it because I'm just repeating what he said, but, YouTube, I already got one community guideline strike. I don't want to get another just for quoting somebody else. Dead pedophile. The only good kind. The dead ones. So, news of the release sparked severe backlash online, including from actress Bette Midler, who called for a My Pillow boycott. Oh, fuck you, Bette Midler. Nobody cares about Bette Midler. How old is Bette Midler at this point? When was the last time she was relevant? What, 1995 and Get Shorty, when she still had a small role? I haven't seen her in anything since. So, Bette Midler says, thanks to everyone who let a murdering child out to do it again. What makes you... First of all, he's not a murderer. He was running away. It was clearly self-defense. And what makes you think he's going to do it again? These are the same people that want cashless bail. Yet Yet they scream bloody murder when somebody who is not ideologically aligned with them gets out having to pay $2 million cash bail. Again, no consistency on the left. None whatsoever. None. So this boy killed 2 and gravely injured another. He killed 2 people that were attacking him and gravely injured somebody who said they wish they had killed him as they were trying to attack him while holding a goddamn gun. Paige Grosskreutz, the one who got injured, was holding a Glock in his hand. I think it was a Glock 17. It was hard to tell exactly which one it was, but why are you celebrating him? We're celebrating him because he stood up against the violent left that is seeking to overthrow this country through sheer force of will and violence. And when they came after him, he stood his ground and he goddamn won. That's why we're celebrating him. Anyone who owns #MyPillow should toss it immediately into the nearest landfill. No, just send it to me and I'll just sleep on a bed of my pillows. Ricky Schroeder, who knew he could be so malevolent? These people, do these people not believe in the justice system or in getting people out of jail? Like I said, these are the same people that want cashless bail. Yet now they're screaming bloody murder because they're helping somebody get out of jail on bail. An exorbitant bail, mind you. And I remember they were trying to deny him bail altogether because they were saying he was a flight risk for the sole fact that he could spend life in prison. Does that mean that anybody who commits murder and is on trial for murder does not get bail because they could flee because they all face the potential of life in prison? It was a very, very clearly prejudiced ruling, and that was the judge. We got too many damn activist judges that need to be impeached and kicked the fuck off the bench. John Hubert, whose son was killed by Rittenhouse, voiced his displeasure as well. He has people out there who will help him, organizations, militia groups, raising money for his defense right now, Huber said. He thinks he's above the law. Well, I think you're making an assumption right there. I don't think Kyle Rittenhouse has said or done anything that you could say that he thinks he's above the law. He's been treated as such by law enforcement. That's because most law enforcement that Kyle Rittenhouse was attacked by the same people who say all cops are bastards, want to defund the police, say pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon, and Kyle Rittenhouse stood up to those people that hate the police. So, yeah, I wonder why the police are treating Kyle Rittenhouse like he might not be all that bad. So he believes he's justified in the case, and for him to run wouldn't surprise me. He is justified in the case. Your son, Anthony Huber, who got fucking shot in the chest after knocking Kyle Rittenhouse with a skateboard after he got drop-kicked by somebody else. And yeah, he got shot. Your son got killed because your son, who was also a criminal for beating women, was also an anarchist, or not, probably more of a communist, who was out there rioting, looting, and burning down the town. I hate to break this to you, but you raised a shitty fucking kid, and you're probably a shitty fucking father. So, I get it. You're going to defend your kid because that's what a dad should do. But don't get me wrong. I'm still going to call you out on the fact that your son was a fucking piece of shit. So, Kyle Rittenhouse is free at last. But, of course, it's not just Antifa that's out there doing all this stuff. This stuff is spread into regular, everyday leftists and liberals. So we have this from the Gateway Pundit. Breaking. Biden supporter plows vehicle through Trump rally in Wauwatosa. Proud Boys administer aid to the injured. Good on the Proud Boys. Good on the Proud Boys. A belligerent Democrat plowed through a crowd of Trump supporters rallying in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin on Saturday, injuring at least one person. Proud Boys administered first aid to the injured EMT until the EMTs arrived. Look at that. Look at that. Proud Boys out there out there and helping people because the Proud Boys are the good guys. Whatever the mainstream media has to say about the Proud Boys, they're out there trying to keep the peace and help people that are injured. Same with Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse was out there helping people that were injured, even the rioters. Even the rioters. If a rioter got injured, he was administering first aid to them. So it's almost like the right wants to help people. And the left just wants to beat people up and kill them and burn their houses down, burn their businesses down, burn their towns down. Yet, somehow, in the mainstream narrative, Antifa are the good guys and the Proud Boys are the bad guys. So a witness at the scene who first contacted Gateway Pundit about the incident wrote that, "I was at the Wauwatosa protest today, and a man was purposely hit by a car while standing next to me. Proud Boys promptly administered first aid until an ambulance arrived." He added that the Proud Boys did an excellent job of keeping the peace. Proud Boys keeping the peace. Yup. And you see these videos of leftists trying, Antifa trying to pick fights with the Proud Boys, and the Proud Boys are holding everyone back, saying, "Nope, don't engage, don't take the bait, don't take the bait," because they know the Antifa game. What Antifa does is they attack, and then the moment you fight back, that's the only part that, once the cameras roll, that's the only part that gets shown. And then they scream victim. So that they start a fight, they hit somebody, and when they get hit, they say, "Oh, no, Proud Boys are oppressing me." Bunch of little bitches. But, like I said, the left does what the left do. But the right now is not laying down anymore. And this is really, really awesome to see. I mean, the right has really been coming up, standing up, and not taking the shit anymore. Because we all realize now what the stakes are. We were passive for far too long, and the left got away with so much stuff, and it's only after Trump won where they had to actually put their intentions on their sleeves and ramp up their actions that people were like, whoa, I had no idea this is what they were slowly creeping us towards. Because it's that idea that gradual change doesn't get noticed, but immediate change is shocking and jarring. And so for decades, they've been doing that gradual change, pushing us towards socialism, pushing us towards communism. And we just kind of, oh, well, it's just this one thing. That's not really that big of a deal. What about that? Yeah, it's just that one thing, sure. That's not a hill I'm going to die on. What's that one? Yeah, no, I don't like that, but again, I don't know that I really want to die on that hill. And the next thing you know, you don't even recognize the fucking world anymore. But then, when Trump won, they realized their plan, their 16-year plan from Barack Obama to Hillary Clinton to completely, as Barack Obama himself stated, fundamentally transform America. That was the goal. Fundamentally transform us into a socialist hellscape where they get to reap all the spoils. And then us, the rabble, the peasants, the common folk, we get the scraps. Well, here from the Gateway Pundit, get out, go get a warrant. Business owners in Buffalo, New York stand up to Cuomo's COVID orders, kicking out sheriff and health inspector. And we're going to get to Cuomo in a little bit because I got another story about him that is going to knock your tits off because it is absolutely ridiculous. So, business owners in Buffalo, New York, fed up with Cuomo's authoritarian COVID lockdown orders, asserted their constitutional rights and kicked out sheriffs and health inspectors Friday night. And we don't really need to read anymore. The big thing here is to just show you guys the video because this is awesome. It is a little long, but it's kind of worth watching, so if it will load.
You're on private property. You need to leave.
We're asking to appeal to your compassionate side. I know you're taxpayer. Our tax dollars guarantee your guys' paychecks. But some of these people actually work for their money, and they don't want to lose their livelihood. I've lost friends and lost family who've killed themselves. I've seen clients die because they've lost their livelihood.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know you are, and I'm asking for you to guys have some compassion for the people that have lost everything.
We do have compassion for people who
Okay,
have
well,
lost
you need to go
everything.
have compassion out in the parking lot.
Well,
This is private property.
This is
private property. This is private property. It's private property. Go
I
get
didn't
a
argue
warrant.
that.
Listen, man, this
Yeah,
is
without a
private
warrant.
property. They're not wanted here. So do your jobs.
Well, her job is...
Well, no, your job is to remove people that are not wanted here. We're wanted here. They're
Yes.
not.
The sheriff's job to kick her ass out of there because she's not wanted.
You can see my name
They're just
tag.
doing their job. There we go. You should all be wearing masks. How come
I'm not
none of you
doing
have
anything
masks
wrong.
on?
Don't worry about my health. My health isn't your
You're
concern.
meant to be wearing a mask. It's a government
Okay, well,
mandate.
then write me up.
It's the law.
Okay, then take me to jail.
It's not the law.
Then take me to jail.
Show me the law.
Show me the law. Stop holding on to any court anywhere. Show me the law.
Well, I think we gotta go, John.
You have to leave. You guys have to leave.
You guys need to leave.
You have to leave.
Right now, you're trespassing without a warrant. You need
Mass
to
civil disobedience starts now.
And look at these sheriffs and this health inspector, this fucking bitch health inspector.
Go get a warrant. Go get a warrant.
They're telling them to leave. They have no warrant. They have no business being there. They're breaking the law by being in this building without a warrant and refusing to leave.
Go outside. No, go on your phone outside. Go on your phone outside.
These business owners, they're not playing.
Okay, we would like to break the law. We would like to break the law.
Who reported
No,
it?
leave.
Who reported it? Who reported it?
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
it's anonymous, right?
Of course, anonymous
But
tip.
it's
Can't be
legitimate
anonymous.
It's like anonymous
You need to
sources.
know your accuser. You need to know. It cannot
Okay,
be
wait,
anonymous.
you gotta go get a warrant.
It
That's not how
cannot be
health
anonymous.
department.
It cannot be
You
anonymous.
gotta go get a
You
warrant.
don't get the
You gotta go
right
get a
to
warrant.
policies. You
It's
don't get to
code
violate the
enforcement.
Constitution.
This
It does
isn't
not
the
matter.
same
You
as
don't
that.
It's
circumvent
code
or
enforcement. It's not the same. So
Constitution.
code
That's
enforcement
the way it
supersedes
works.
the Constitution, according to this woman here.
Okay, Miss, you need to leave.
Code enforcement is about as far below the Constitution as you can possibly get. They're just shouting them down. And they're not leaving. They're just standing there. Standing around like a bunch of fucking loser bureaucrats that they are. Okay, now they're finally getting the hint.
No, now we gotta get off the property. We don't want them off the fucking property.
Dude, just because it's a Black Lives Matter
You guys got
It's a Black Lives Matter protest.
Bro,
We will not comply. We will not comply. We will not comply. We will not comply. We will not comply.
This is a protest, guys.
Comply.
We do not
We
have to
will not
disband.
comply.
It is a protest. This is a lawful protest. We will not comply.
All right, that's enough. We don't need to play the whole. They end up running them off. I probably played more of that than I should. I hope you guys didn't get bored watching that. But they ended up running them off the lot. They made sure they're like, no, you can't even be on the property. You got to hit the fucking streets, coppers. You know, and as much as the right is all about back the blue, well, if you're gonna start, if the blue is gonna start enforcing tyrannical, unconstitutional edicts from tyrannical governors, then they can get fucked just as quickly as Antifa. That's for real. We back the blue when they protect the citizenry, not when they oppress the citizenry. You know, and I'm sure that. I'm sure that there's probably going to be some lefties that point to this video and be like, I thought you guys backed the blue. It's like, yeah, we're not idiots. We don't do things blindly. Everything is contingent upon the situation. But, of course, you know, can't expect a lefty to understand all that. But what you can expect is for the left to do even more of what the left does. And now we have one DNC member who is ranting about deprogramming 75 million Trump supporters. Let that sink in. You know, we've heard them talking about making lists. We've heard them talking about we know who you are, and it might, you know, if you keep supporting Trump, it might affect your job opportunities, your career opportunities down the line. You know what? If we keep supporting Trump, Trump is going to be back into office. We're going to flip the culture in this country. And you want to know who's never going to get a goddamn job again? It's going to be you lunatics on the left. Because we're going to remember what you did. We're going to remember how you treated our president. We're going to remember how you treated us. And we will not take kindly to it. We will not forgive, and we will not forget. Hell no. So, on Wednesday night, a member of the Democrat National Committee ranted that everyone who voted for President Trump should be deprogrammed. David Atkins, who wrote in his campaign for the DNC, I currently serve as the Region 10 director of the California Democratic Party, tweeted on Wednesday a message reminiscent of the repressive communist states around the world. And we'll just read his tweets. He says, no, seriously. How do you deprogram 75 million people? Where do you start? Fox? Facebook? We have to start thinking in terms of post-World War II Germany or Japan, or the failures of Reconstruction in the South. You are not thinking in terms of post-World War II Germany or Japan. You are thinking in terms of post-Bolshevik Revolution Soviet Russia and post-Cultural Revolution Maoist China. That is exactly what he's talking about right here. And this is how you get struggle sessions. This is how you get struggle sessions. And I swear to God, if anybody tries to stick me in a struggle session, you're going to have to kill me before you get me to comply. Hell no. Do your motherfucking worst. So, he says, so he went on to say, this is not your standard partisan policy disagreement. This is a conspiracy theory fueled by belligerent death cult against reality and basic decency. The only actual policy debates of note are happening within the dim coalition between the left and the center left. Are you kidding me? Are you, like, these people want to make me pull my goddamn hair out because their view of the world is so warped. They've lost any kind of attachment to reality. So they're saying that we're a death cult. How are we a death cult? And that we're against reality and basic decency. You guys are the ones that pushed the Russia conspiracy hoax to this day, even though it's already come out that it was a Hillary Clinton campaign hoax to try to overthrow Donald Trump. And basic decency, you're the ones sitting here talking about deprogramming 75 million people. We all know what that's code for. That's code for motherfucking gulags. And you want to preach to us about basic decency? And then you're going to say that the only policy debates of note are happening between the left and the center left and the Democratic Party? The Democratic Party has done nothing but screech orange man bad for 4 years. They've done absolutely nothing in terms of policy. And then when they do come up with ideas for policies, it's absolutely batshit lunatic ideas like the Green New Deal and universal basic income. Absolute insanity with these people. And so he says, I know conservatives are upset by some of the responses, and yeah, many of them are out of line. But what do you expect people to do in self-preservation? The right has been running 4 years on fuck your feelings, my conspiracy theories are valid opinions, and we have more guns. First of all, yes, fuck your feelings. Because you seem to think that we live to placate your feelings. We don't. We have our own lives. We have our own goals. We have our own visions. And we have our own dreams. And they do not entail catering our lives to your goddamn sensibilities. And the fact that you have pushed so hard, caused racist bigots and every single phobe in the book, whenever we don't comply with whatever you want us to do, say, or feel, then yeah, the response that you're going to get is, well, fuck your feelings. And my theories are valid opinions. First of all, he's conflating two different things. So he's saying opinions and theories. So what about your conspiracy theories about Russia and Donald Trump working for the Kremlin since the 1980s, when it was Soviet Russia, and then he just carried on over into regular Russia? But meanwhile, most of the conspiracy theories and the things that they label as conspiracy theories as, we're sitting here holding up books of receipts saying, yeah, this isn't a theory, guys. We got you dead to fucking rights. You just have a media that will not report on it, and then they'll tell everybody that what we're saying is a conspiracy theory. Meanwhile, we're sitting here with so much evidence piled so high, a mountain of evidence, where we're looking down onto the peak of Mount Everest from on top of all our evidence. So, yeah, and also, yeah, we have more guns. And you know what? You need to be reminded of that, because when you start talking about deprogramming us and start talking about, you know, winking and nodding to gulags, guess what you're going to get? You're going to get the open end of the barrel. That's what you're going to get. So we need to remind you, yeah, we have more guns. It's a reminder not to tread on us, not to fuck with us. But you continue to fuck. Not going to stand and take it. Not going to stand and take it. So he says you can't run on a civil war footing, hopped up on conspiracy theories, hating everyone who lives in cities, mainlining Fox, Breitbart, QAnon, threatening to kidnap governors and shoot protesters without people trying to figure out how to reverse the brainwashing. Ho 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 ho. All right. So we aren't running on civil war. We are saying the only way civil war happens is because the left has pulled so far from the founding of this country, and they're demanding that we go with them. And our only options are roll over and die or fight you. We're not saying civil war because we just want to go out and fight. We're saying civil war because you're backing us into a corner. And hopped up on conspiracy theories, hating everyone that lives in cities. We don't hate everyone that lives in cities. And threatening to kidnap governors. First of all, this goes to show that he's completely detached from reality, because he's referencing the plot to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, and they weren't Trump supporters. They said that Trump is a tyrant. They had anarchy signs. They're more closely aligned with Antifa. You know, they're more like, you know, it's that horseshoe theory where the two sides don't actually go further and further apart. They go further apart until they go up and get closer to each other. They were like crazy anarchist libertarians. But they were not Trump supporters. They were not our people. We don't claim those people. We don't want them. They're closer to what your people are doing, not what our people do. But again, these people don't have any idea what is even going on. He says, I mean, for Christ's sake, conservatives are literally giving themselves COVID to own the libs. Who is giving themselves COVID? They're dying in COVID wards, insisting they don't have COVID because it must be a liberal plot. Nobody thinks that COVID isn't real. We just think you're being asinine about it. People are going to try and figure out how to defend themselves. Well, you know, yeah, it's so true that the left has no understanding of what the right thinks, because all they do is run stupid shit like this. So in his campaign for a DNC seat, Atkins called for the committee to refuse to compromise on the issues. In order to win elections everywhere, the DNC must be unafraid to be a progressive party that refuses to compromise on the issues in order to make donors and corporations feel more comfortable. What are you talking about, make corporations feel more comfortable? The corporations are all on board with your progressive agenda. I mean, come June, you walk into any store and it's like you just walked into a goddamn Skittles factory. It's just rainbows everywhere on all the products. As your DNC member, I promise that you will always vote to end corporate donations, emphasize Medicare for all, fight to expand affordable housing, and make sure that the existential threat of climate change gets the attention it deserves from party leadership. End corporate donations. Once he realizes that all of the corporations are on his side, how quickly do you think he's going to change his tune? How quickly? I think it's going to be at the drop of a dime. So, listing his credentials for the DNC seat, Atkins described himself as a progressive activist with the goal of advancing a more expansive reform agenda. Recently, as a party activist, I have co-authored a successful resolution that the California Democratic Party passed in support of key economic components of the Green New Deal. That means communism. The economic components of the Green New Deal were communism. So he's a communist. Authored progressive changes to the California Democratic Party platform, and at the county level presided as platform committee chair over redrafting the Santa Barbara County Democratic Party's platform. I look forward to advancing a more expansive reform agenda at the national level with the DNC. Redrafting the Santa Barbara County Democratic Party's platform. Aren't they the ones who banned straws and said that if you worked at a restaurant and you gave somebody a straw, you could go to jail for a year? Yeah, your platform is really fucking good, guys. Really good. Good job, guys. You saved the environment. All the trees love you. Now you're not the tree hugger. Now the trees are hugging you. Fucking loser. But, you know, it's California, and of course here in Hollywood, it's just as bad. Here in Hollywood, we've got this article from Breitbart. Once it comes up, Donald Trump, he got the coof. Donald Trump Jr. got himself the commie cough. And so Hollywood celebrities, of course, attack him over his COVID diagnosis. You fucking idiot, and poor COVID. Because of course they do, because they're classless goons who don't actually care about decency. They're the least decent people you could ever possibly hope to run into in your life. But they're, you know, that's just, I don't know what more I can say about them. They're the scum of the earth. They really are. They really are. because they never hold themselves to the standards that they hold everybody else up to, that they hold regular average people up to. So left-wing Hollywood stars celebrating Donald Trump Jr.'s reported COVID diagnosis, calling it a pleasant surprise and wishing that the coronavirus gets well soon. Celebrities including Bette Midler, because of course Bette Midler shows up here. She's so irrelevant, she has to do everything that she can just so that people remember she's still alive. Jimmy Kimmel, Ron Perlman, and George Takei piled on with insults and snark after news broke late Friday that President Donald Trump's eldest son tested positive for the coronavirus. A spokesperson reportedly said that Donald Trump Jr. has no symptoms, but is isolating and following relevant medical guidelines. So he has no symptoms, so he's just kind of like, yeah, I got it. I guess I got to chill for a few days. I feel fine, whatever. It's just COVID, no big deal. But, of course, they're like, yeah, he got it. He got it. They act like he died, even though he's feeling absolutely fine. Jimmy Kimmel says, I guess his father finally hugged him. That's a classless blow. That's a classless blow right there. Now, Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport is one of the most unhinged lunatics I think Hollywood has to offer. And I don't know that I'm going to play this whole thing, but let's just listen to what Michael Rappaport has to say.
You fuck! Oh, man! God damn! Pig! You fucking work good for fuck! Oh, man! Who the fuck would have thought the week would end off like this, you fucking good for nothing, you dummy! You lonely fucking dummy, you and your stupid girlfriend came out with that.
All right,
Whatever.
Hold on. All right, it's pretty much 2 minutes and 14 seconds of that. And, you know, it's I can only imagine being filled with so much hate that, first of all, I get that happy when somebody gets sick. Second of all, if I got that happy that somebody was sick, but they had no symptoms, it's like, Donald Trump Jr. really isn't even sick. I mean, yeah, he's got COVID, but so he, chill so he doesn't spread it. But it's not like he's in any kind of pain. It's not like he's suffering. It's not like he's having a rough time. He's chilling up at a log cabin in upstate New York. Like, he's making a vacation out of it. So I don't know what Michael Rappaport is so happy about. I mean, I don't think Donald Trump Jr. has been, I'm so devastated by this. But can you imagine just being so filled with hate that even when you go to insult people, all you can do is just throw together cuss words? And yeah, I get it. I swear too. I swear. And I've been, especially in this video, I don't know why. I think I'm in a mood tonight. I'm a little revved up tonight. So, but they don't even say anything. You dick stained pig dick. Like, what are you talking about? To be so consumed by hatred that you get so wrapped up in your emotions that you can't even come up with a clever insult. There's no cleverness with the left in the way they insult. They just throw together a bunch of raunchy words and think that that's getting the job done. It's the laziness of why they're all fucking losers and broke anyways. So, Bette Midler tweeted, "Thugs and players, baby." I think that's supposed to be a play on hugs and prayers. I don't know. Bette Midler, she's ODing on Botox, I think. Grammy Award-winning singer Diane Warren and actress Kristen Johnson also expressed sympathy for the coronavirus. COVID tested positive for Donald Trump Jr. Kristen Johnson, poor COVID. Got him there. Now, some celebrities, including George Takei and Ron Perlman, made references to cocaine in their insults. George Takei says, I guess coke doesn't stop COVID, Jr. I don't even understand. Yeah, Ron Perlman says, welp, we're about to find out if cocaine cures COVID. I hear Donald Trump Jr. tested positive for coronavirus. I hear he's self-isolated and doing lines of cocaine. What? Like, what? First of all, what's with this whole thing about Donald Trump doing cocaine, especially when these people are all Biden supporters and Biden's son is Hunter Biden. Glass houses, people. Glass houses. I was gonna say it's like calling the kettle black, but it's not even that. It's something way worse than that. It's like the heroin addict calling the pothead a junkie. That's what it's like. It's the heroin addict calling the pothead a junkie. But the left is just pathetic, and Hollywood is just an absolute loony bin, and they proved it once again after this with Governor Andrew Cuomo is going to receive an Emmy for his COVID-19 TV briefings. Killer Cuomo here is going to get an Emmy for his... Again, leftist privilege. It's a club, and you're either in it or you're not. And they run everything. And Cuomo is in that club, so it doesn't matter how many grannies he killed with his nursing home policy with COVID. How terrible of a job he did preventing the spread of COVID in New York City. Became the biggest hotspot in America. Did the most piss-poor job of anybody in the entire country, and he gets accolades. What is it about the left where you always fail up? The worse you do, the more they elevate you. So, and this is from the New York Post. And the Emmy for Best Acting as a sitting governor goes to Governor Andrew Cuomo, who has been blamed for leading the deadly coronavirus, letting the deadly coronavirus run rampant in New York's nursing homes, is set to receive an International Emmy Award for his daily TV briefings about the disease. But it won't be for outstanding lead actor in a real-life drama. Instead, Cuomo is recognized for his effective use of television during the pandemic, the International Academy of Television Arts and Sciences announced Friday. The governor's 111 daily briefings worked so well because he effectively created television shows with characters, plot lines, and stories of success and failure. And he painted a great villain in Orange Man Bad, didn't he? And that was when he wasn't thanking Donald Trump for everything Donald Trump did at the beginning of the pandemic, Once it was no longer politically expedient, when he got everything he needed from Donald Trump, he turned around and stabbed him in the back because, Democrats. So, people around the world tuned in to find out what was going on, and New York tough became a symbol of the determination to fight back. No, I think New York exodus became a symbol of the determination of government leadership in New York to destroy the city. And of course, Bill de Blasio, once the real estate prices started plummeting, went in and bought it all up. Good old RoboCop villain there. So I'm not going to read the rest of it. We all know about what Cuomo did with the nursing homes and how probably upwards of 10,000 elderly died because he decided, hey, you got the COVID? Yeah, you can go into that nursing home. We need to jump up. We need to boost our death numbers to make Trump look bad. You mind going in there and killing a bunch of your elderly friends in there for us? Because we need those stats. Because just like the left, just like Joseph Stalin said, one death is a tragedy. 1 million deaths is a statistic. But, that's the left. They are informed by who they are informed by. And they say absolutely disgusting things. Just like Atlanta mayor, my hometown mayor. I no longer live in Atlanta, but born and raised in the area. Suggests that Trump would eat his own children to advance agenda. That's a pretty twisted thing to say about another human being. And, it's almost cartoonish how villainous they think Donald Trump is. And it goes to show just how far, if they really believe that Trump is that cartoon villain, that Bond villain that they hate so much, who is equal parts mastermind Hitlerian villain and equal part, doof who can't get anything right. Pick your poison, guys. Which one is he? It's all they have to do is just come down off of whatever rage drug they're on, take a deep breath, and see that Trump's not that bad. In fact, Trump is pretty damn awesome. Pretty damn awesome. So during an appearance on CNN Wednesday, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms ripped President Trump as she discussed 2 runoff elections in Georgia coming in January that will decide which political party controls the U.S. Senate. And you know they're going to try to steal that one too. In fact, we've got Stacey Abrams, another one who just keeps failing upwards, who is raising all kinds of money to try to get people to vote for their John Ossoff, and who again, another one who just keeps failing up. They ran him for the House. He lost. So what do? They run him in the Senate, where he lost. And what do? They run him in the Senate again in the runoff. I mean, Beto O'Rourke failed to become a senator. Next thing you know, he's running for president. What is with the Democrats and failing upwards? And John Ossoff is kind of like a Beto O'Rourke type character. And I remember seeing him talk one time, and it was like, he copied the cadence of Barack Obama when he talked. He didn't have the same voice, but he did the cadence. It was creepy. It was creepy. It was like he was trying to be Barack Obama. So how do you think it plays out electorally, Cooper asked. This has been a fascinating year, especially if you watch politics, Bottom said. To even see the Republican president turn on the Republican Secretary of State of Georgia, whom he endorsed, and if you watch his Twitter feed, they're criticizing him for turning on a Republican. Maybe that's because, to some people, principle matters more than party. They're criticizing him for putting principle over party. That's what she's doing. Excuse me. That's what goes to show you exactly what the left really thinks. It's all about the protection of the gang. You're either in the gang or you're not. And no matter what you do once you're in that gang, you're protected. Well, no, Trump doesn't operate that way. Trump doesn't operate. Republicans, for the most part, do not operate that way. I'm sure you got some in there that do. But no, that's why you see everybody's turning on Tucker right now. Because Tucker is calling out Sidney Powell. And it looks like he's hedging his bets and playing safe with Fox News. Now, all the people who, we've already seen everybody turn on Fox News because of the way they covered the election. We are not some, blind loyalists. To us, the principle and the actions actually matter. And so, yes, that is why Donald Trump would turn on a Republican that he once endorsed. Because the Republican is acting, and this Brad Raffensperger guy has been acting terribly. He's saying, without a doubt, Biden won. Somebody's got dirt on him. Somebody has the goods on Brad Raffensperger. I don't know if he was over on some Caribbean island with some creepy people, but they've got something on him because he is a rhino. He's as rhino as rhinos get. He is John McCain level rhino. So Keisha Bottom said, he will eat his own children, I'm sure, if he found it prudent, Bottom said. But I don't think I could even say that about, Stalin and Mao and Hitler and all the genuine worst people in the world. I don't think I could say I'm sure they would eat their children if it continued. No. That is an insane statement to make. I'm at a loss for words, honestly. I'm at a loss for words. So now he's picking a fight with Brian Kemp, also the governor who he was closely allied with. Yeah, well, Brian Kemp has been acting like a little bitch. And when somebody on your side acts like a little bitch, you slap them across the face and say, stop acting like a little bitch. And so it's my hope that even if people did not vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that they will be so disappointed and disgusted by his behavior. So disappointed and disgusted by the fact that he did not blindly back his Republican Party, who looked like they had some sort of deal worked out with Democrats. No, because Trump puts the people first, not his political cronies. He's not a Democrat, and that's the difference. And they don't seem to even understand that from even a base level. Don't even understand that, because we all know what's coming, and Twitter is not willing to accept it. They are not willing to accept what is coming, what we all know is coming. And they are coming out saying Twitter will transfer @POTUS account to Joe Biden in January. So they think. Twitter will transfer control of @POTUS, the official account of the President of the United States, to Joe Biden on January 20th, regardless of whether President Donald Trump concedes the election. The transfer will reportedly also extend to, all the other FLOTUS, VP, all those other positions. Staffers from Twitter will also meet with Joe Biden's transition team in the coming weeks. Why does Twitter have to meet with the presidential transition team? I don't recall the Twitter meeting with Trump's transition team. I don't see how that's even relevant. You're a tech platform. You're just a place where people are supposed to be able to spat out their words. What are you going to be meeting with the transition team about? I don't see what their business is with them. So via the Hill, President-elect Joe Biden will receive @POTUS Twitter handle soon as he is inaugurated to the White House in January, regardless of whether President Trump concedes before then, Twitter announced Friday. Well. What if Joe Biden doesn't get inaugurated? What if President Trump gets inaugurated? Because I think we all know what is going to be coming in the next week or two. They're going to be they're going to be dumping all of the evidence that this was an entirely rigged election and Donald Trump is going to be our president for the next 4 years. And I say that sure enough that I put $200 that I couldn't even afford down to bet on it with like 7-to-1 return odds. And I'm happy with that bet. And I'm confident that I'm going to win it. Because I'm confident that Donald Trump is going to win. And you know who's getting a little less confident in Joe Biden? Looks like Facebook is a little less confident in Joe Biden's win than Twitter is. Because they seem to be taking action. And hold on, I think I gotta wait. There we go. Somebody posted this video. Biden's Facebook title changes to politician.
Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not.
Yes. Facebook changed Joe Biden back from president-elect. He was listed as president-elect, and they changed it back to just plain old humdrum politician. Because I think they're starting to realize the tides are a-turning. Now, that's it for this video, guys. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Also, follow me on BitChute and Rumble. I post my videos up on there as well because, as most of you guys know, I was booted from YouTube for a week for some bullshit 5-month-old video about Ghislaine Maxwell. So there's a good chance that I might not be long for YouTube. And if you're wondering where the hell I went, well, it's BitChute and Rumble. Also, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Parler, and mindsandpilled.net, all at Ram Thorburn. And if you're interested in contributing to the channel, there are links to my Subscribestar, Patreon, and PayPal down in the description below. And as always, rev your engines, ride hard, and fight like hell.